And I'm saying that I'm gonna give Tao some flowers. He's always been on the hunt. He's never ranked. He's never the guy picked first. He's never the guy that's like, hey, that's one of the best guys. He has to prove himself on a daily basis. And on the flip side, what's happened is because he's always that kid chasing, he's starting to cover ground. As parents, we try to protect our kids, but you want to know what's crazy? You're sheltering them from greatness because greatness requires disappointment. So I'm done. I have nothing else to say. I like that shirt you got on though. That's a fly shirt.
What is up, family? I am here with the back-to-back champions, two legends, one older, one younger, but from the same bloodstream. And, they most recently won a championship again. And so, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for your perseverance and the way you are continually showing excellence. How are you guys doing today?
We good, man. We're good.
Good.
I think the super dope thing about this is the father and son relational dynamic. And me as a new father who, just got a son, turns one in a couple days. My hope and my dream is to one day be able to have collective success like you guys are having. So for you, Coach, answering first, what is the one ingredient you said or you would want to give to the audience who maybe is a father who's coaching their son that you feel like you institute on a day-to-day basis to get to this level where you are now?
I mean, the same way I raise him is the same way I coach him. It spills over into the coaching, like our expectations and moral compass in the house. It's the same thing with coaching. People ask me all the time, like, man, how hard is it to coach your son? Well, I'm raising him. So, like, coaching is easy. There's really no difference. Obviously, we're competing and it's a sport, but Tao's a really good kid. So, coaching him is easy.
For sure. And Tal, for you, what would you say is the easiest part about playing for your father? And also, what would you say is the hardest part about playing for your father?
I guess I would say the easiest part is, taking the coaching because I know it's my dad. He's going to tell me the best what I need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the hardest part, I mean, I don't know. It's just pretty easy playing for my dad. It's like, and I know he's telling me everything I need to hear, so I'll have to think about that some more.
For sure. There's major trust there, which is dope. And I wanna discuss the back to work slogan, right? I've heard it ever since I've been around you, Coach, and I'm sure it's not just something that stays within the confines of the athletic realm, right? This is the way you live. So I don't believe I asked you this the first time, but where does that slogan originate? Who introduced that to you, and why do you consistently repeat the back to work slogan? Can you celebrate the success just for a little minute, or we got to go right back to work?
No, I mean you celebrating, but you also getting back to work at the same time. Like I'm an advocate of like enjoying and celebrating your wins, no matter how big they are, no matter how small you think they may be. But in the process of celebrating, in the process of success, you got to keep things into perspective and understand there's still room for growth, and not just success. Like that came to me from failure. Like I failed mightily before I started achieving success. And in order to keep myself grounded, I was, get back to work. The only thing I can control is my work ethic and my attitude and my effort. And those are the things I spill over to the people that come in contact with me, the people I lead. So we just focus on that. Yeah, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna enjoy it. I've been enjoying this state championship right here. But in the same process, once the feel goods are over, you got to get back to work because if you want this feeling again, you got to start working towards it.
And speaking of this feeling, Tal, for you, could you feel the difference between like your joy you had this championship to last, or was it about the same?
I mean, I would say last year, it was more joyful because it was like, I don't know, we just worked so hard, but now it kind of felt like we were supposed to win, we deserved it because we worked so hard as a
Mm-hmm.
team.
Mm-hmm. And expectation wise, like you said, you kind of expected that you would be here. For you, coach, man, how do you block out the noise? I know we talked about this the first time. How do you block out the noise? There's a lot of chatter. There always will be a lot of chatter when you're making strides in the industry and in your sport. So, what are the things you do not only to make sure that you're aligned, but that the people in your house, specifically Tile, is aligned and focused as well?
Just focus on that. Focus on the people that you love. You know, like remember we talked about last time. We talked about addressing the haters, and it's not that I regret saying that, but it make
Yeah,
I feel like if you were to ask me that again, I wouldn't address them because I will focus on the people that shows love. You know, I think
yeah,
that's a slight to the people that support you when you address
yeah.
haters. And I've grown from since that statement, and I'm not prideful. I don't care. We all still growing on a daily basis. And I
Facts.
think it's so many people that love you. It's so many people that support you. And I think giving haters time is a slight to those people that really have your back, like my wife, like my sons and brothers and sisters and cousins and friends that I grew up with. So to block out the noise, to answer your question, man, you really focus on the people that are there for you, because you could do right by people, you can give them your all in this profession, and they will only focus on the thing that they weren't pleased with, and 50 million things can go right and one small thing can go wrong, and sometimes people are just focused on that one small thing instead of really looking at all that you gave them. And I've learned that you can't control how people feel or react, so you focus on the things you can control. You give people your all. You be honest with them, and you try to have as much integrity as possible, and you keep it moving.
Yeah. That's dope. Tal, for you, social media is a huge thing now. A lot of people feel like they have access to you. Did you have to navigate any comments on social about your father that you seen that you were like, whoa, like, what is this? And if so, like, how did you deal with that?
I mean, not really, especially not close. Most people around me, they see the work that I put in. And people see that my dad still holds me accountable. So it's not like I'm just getting put into this situation. I work for it.
For sure, for sure, which is dope. I want to transition a little bit. Two more questions, two or three more questions, right? I don't want to keep you all
Take your
night. It's a
time. Take
Sunday
your
night.
time.
But don't tell me to take my time now. I ain't gonna have you all night. But when it comes to the staff, man, a lot of people put in work to, as a collective. It takes everybody, right? So who would be for you, coach, the number one underrated staff member that helped you guys get to this level that you got to this year and winning the championships? Time to highlight somebody that probably doesn't feel that praise.
No, so and I'm not trying to be cliche or corny, but I think my entire
Mm-hmm.
staff is underrated. Like, I'm really hard on my coaches. Like, I ask, like, as hard as I am on my players, I demand the same amount from my coaches, and they're also my peers, right? So we're the same
Mm-hmm.
age, and some of them are older than me, but they answer the call every single time. Like, every single practice, they got to come in on one. They're not allowed to have a bad day emotionally. They're not allowed to have a bad day physically. They got to, once they walk in there in that gym, practice is on
Mm-hmm.
them. The practice schedule is set. The practice agenda is in place. They know their role, and I want it out of them every single day. And they do a
Mm-hmm.
really good job, from the scouting the Savages does, the skill development that Coach Sanders does, the philosophy from Coach Hunter, the guidance from Chap, and the pure genuineness from Coach Smith and Coach Murray. So, like, everybody's role is so important. We need every last ounce of it. So, and if
Mm-hmm.
you come to the game, you might think, man, them coaches be arguing at the game. No, we're just intense. And after the
Mm-hmm.
game is love. That's why I wanted them to walk up with me to get that ball after the game. Because
Yeah.
everybody likes to say their head coach. I'll take the blame for the failure. I'm okay with that. You survive
Mm-hmm.
failure. But when it comes to success, no man is an Allen. And my coaches do a tremendous job. So all those guys are underrated. They do a great job. I wish I had $1 million to pay them.
I gotta let that one soak in a little bit because I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't heard that type of thought process openly from coaches that I've been around. They may feel the same way, but I just think that it's cool when you could have said or highlighted one individual. It shows a lot about the way you see your team and your staff to make sure you highlight everybody. And so in that same mind frame, like Tal, you being able to experience your father like as a leader, in this athletic arena, what would you, and you can take your time and answer this, but what would you say is like one of the biggest principles he's taught you about being a man?
Uh, just being consistent, working hard, just having the right attitude and effort and mindset every day. He's taught me just every day you might not be feeling like, every day you might not want to have the right mindset, but you just gotta bring it every day, be a man.
For sure, for sure. And last question, man. This is a huge one. Last question. This is a huge one. If Coach, you were to define love for your son and love in general. So this is a two-part question. Love in general. What is love? And then what the second question is, what does love look like for your son? How much love do you have for your son if you can describe your love for your son?
Man, so my wife is on me all the time, and she says, love is an action word. It's love is an action, not a word. So I guess my love, if I had to define it for my son, it would just be, me getting up every day, giving him all I got. Me putting the
Yeah,
household first, me putting the family first. Obviously, me trying to guide him down this path of faith that I have, as Jesus being our personal
yeah,
Lord and Savior. Um, and that's love, man. It's just physically being there, emotionally being there, mentally being there, trying to meet all of his needs, not so much his wants, but his needs. And that's love. And as far as like how much I love, I don't know. You notice I have 4 kids now, and I don't know if I could measure that. I will say this. I will say this, and maybe this is the measurement. I could not see my life without my family, if that makes sense. How some
yeah,
people be like, "Oh, I don't want any kids." Oh, no, no. That my response is, I couldn't see my life without my family. That's my wife, my
yeah.
sons, Austin, Tal, Jay, Leo, all of them. So I couldn't really see it, man. And Tal's a real good dude. We talking about him individually. Like he's loyal, he's trustworthy. He's not perfect, but I know if it's 100 dudes waiting around the corner to fight, he got my back. And
Mm,
that's priceless. That's priceless, and especially in this profession. And he does a good job of keeping it separate. Like he never tries to get me to give him a break because I'm a coach. He never whine to me and say, "Well, Dad, why I'm not starting?" And he embraces it all. And I've watched him grow physically and athletically. So I just think he does a really good job of keeping it separate. He allows me to be a dad. He allows me to also coach him, and I think that's why he's experienced the success he's had.
mm, mm. That's major, man. Well, I feel like this is gonna bless a lot of people. It blessed me. I appreciate you guys for just sharing your journey, and the dynamic that you guys have. I do think it is gonna be a true joy to see you guys continue to rock out because y'all got some more years to do this together, which is crazy,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
wild.
It should be fun,
Yeah,
man. And I know you. I'm gonna say one more thing. I'm gonna share this with the young athlete. It ain't gotta be athletics. Like you're in the world of blessing people with your speech, man. God really bless you with that, and that's why try to repost everything you put up because I love it.
I
You know what
appreciate
I'm
you.
saying? You do a great job.
Hmm.
But to the parents and young athletes in this athletic arena, I want you to understand what I'm about to say, and I'm dead serious about this. It's okay for your child to be in the hunt. It's okay for your child to run the race from the back. A lot of times, parents don't want
Mm,
their kids to run from the back because they feel like that's equivalent to failure or them not getting what they want. But if you ever went out in the neighborhood and raced or played tag, when do you run your fastest? When you're trying to catch somebody. You cover the most ground when you're trying to catch somebody from behind. You're your most locked in when you know you're not ahead of the race. And I'm saying that I'm gonna give Tyler some flowers. He's always been on the hunt. He's never ranked. He's never the guy picked first. He's never the guy that's like, hey, that's one of the best guys. He has to prove himself on a daily basis. And on the flip side, what's happened is because he's always that kid chasing, he's starting to cover ground. And if you look from middle school to now, you to say, hey, this kid's going to be a major contributor on a nationally ranked team and a two-time state championship team, the average person wouldn't have saw that because everybody wants to be in the front. And that's a good thing. But I do think good is poison. And too many times our young athletes and our parents are poisoned because people begin them to tell them that they're good. And when you start holding people accountable, they start to fight against it because they're good. But I tell my guys this all the time: greatness wants no part of good. Greatness wants no part of good. No, Michael Jordan was great. He was great, but he wanted no part of good. I think LeBron is great. You don't score 50,000 points unless you're great. But why is LeBron James 40 years old still trying to win a title? You know why? Because he's okay with running his race from behind. He's on the hunt. And that's beautiful. And that's why I'm a LeBron fan. Like this dude is 40 trying to win a championship. He has nothing else to prove in essence, but he wants to be remembered as a great. And a lot of times as parents, we try to protect our kids, but you want to know what's crazy? You're sheltering them from greatness because greatness requires disappointment. So I'm done. I have nothing else to say. I like that shirt you got on though. That's a fly shirt.
Hey, no. That's crazy. No, that's crazy. That's crazy, coach. They're sheltering their kids from greatness.
They are because you're trying to protect them from every ounce of disappointment. Greatness requires disappointment. You can't have greatness if disappointment is not a part of the ingredients. You can't. You can't
Yeah,
cook it. You can't cook it.
yeah,
You're going to miss shots. You're going to miss shots. But imagine if you thought you could go into something thinking you're going to make every shot. You will crumble as soon as you miss. But if you're decorated with disappointment, see, people think disappointment is like a sign of like it's ugly, it's aesthetic, it's beautiful. That's a decoration. Failure is decoration because you learn from it. You learn from it, and a lot of times, parents, man, we try our best to shelter our kids from that. And when you come around truth tellers, you don't know how to take it because your kids aren't used to the truth. That's why college coaches are in the dang on portal because they're tired of trying to teach young kids the truth that don't want to hear it. But that's a whole nother podcast because ultimately college coaches are going to have to get back to the high school kid because the portal only is going to last but for so long. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you gotta fertilize the ground. The high school kids, the grassroots coaches, which are us, are the fertilizers. And that's why I fight every day to hold my guys accountable. I'm okay with you not liking me, but you won't be able to say, well, coach didn't hold me accountable and he cared. If you want to leave because I'm too hard on you, I can live with that. But if you leave and say, well, he didn't put in no work and he didn't give me a chance to get better, I'm gonna lose nights of sleep because I want to know why you said that. I want to know why
yeah,
you said that. So I'm good, but I'm off my soapbox now. I wear extra
yeah.
large in that shirt.
I got you for free, man. I'm sending it over. It's the championship pack. I got one for you,
Oh man,
Tal,
say no more.
too, man.
Ty
Hey,
wears a
man, I
medium.
love y'all.
Love you too. Love you too,
That's
man.
medium.
Man, love you.
Love you, man. Hey, give the fam my love, man, and kiss them babies, man.
Hey, likewise, you got
Bet.
4. I'm at 2, and I'm not having any more. I'm
You
stopping.
sure
So
about that?
I don't have your level of capacity. You know what I'm saying? You got
No.
an extra
Are
blessing to
you
capacity.
sure? Because after I had 3, I was done. That's what I said to myself.
But
So
did you medically get it? We can cut this part out. But did you take care of? You know what I'm saying?
say
If
no
you don't
more.
take care,
Say no more. All right, man. I'm done.
all right, man.
All right, Bubba. Love you, Wayne.
All right, love y'all.
Love you.
Peace.